All right, call to order. Melanie, can we get a roll call?
Watson,
Here.
Prophet, Priest, McKnight,
Here.
Paul,
Here.
Maxwell,
Here.
Lamb,
Here.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Lawson.
Okay, and there's also an addition onto the agenda that we need to vote on, and it's a Wilson Park Castle Bridge donation. We need to have a vote to put that on the agenda.
A motion that we approve to have that put onto our agenda.
Second.
Okay. Take a roll.
Okay, Watson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes.
No. Maxwell,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Okay, and first up, let's approval of the minutes, September 8th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll.
Lawson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
If that's all, yeah.
Okay, and first up is a Eagle Scout project proposal at Gregory Park, and this is Austin Carlson. Excuse me, it's August Carlson.
My name is August Carlson. I'm from Troop 430 here in Fayetteville, and I've been looking at Eagle Scout project lately, and I emailed back and forth with Christina from Parks and Recreation Department, and she gave me several ideas, and I decided to do one at Gregory Park here in Fayetteville, fixing the erosion problem with water bars, which is just some of the erosion here. I used one myself. It's just it'd be a 6x6, but I just use a log right across the trail to flow water off the trail to prevent erosion. There's a parking lot up right here, and all the water from the parking lot just flows down the trail, and just keeps flowing more and more. This is an example of a rock one. Like the rocks across the trail, the water comes down and flows off. What I'm wanting to do is the 6x6 and rock on both sides to really ensure that it's flowing off the trail. These are some examples, like right here. This is more of what I'm going to do. The trail's a lot more narrow, and it'll pretty much be 6x6s with rocks on both sides, big rocks, flowing off the train height to flow water off the trail. Here's another example. They'll also pretty much serve as steps to going down. And there's another part of the trail. I don't think I have pictures for that, but it's very overgrown. When you first start out in the trail, it's going pretty good. You get about to the middle. It goes from probably about this wide to this wide. And as hard as all the trail is, there's sticks, branches going across the top. So what else I want to do is clear that out and make it about 2.5 feet wide, accessible to people. And for donations for the 6x6s, I have several friends that have done projects in the past. They just go to like Lowe's or like Home Depot, and they set aside money each month for donations, and just ask them 80% of the time they'll donate. Also, I'm wanting to, there's a sign, the Gregory Park sign is really it's rotted out. It wasn't built with treated wood, or it might have been, but it was a long time ago. Christina told me that you guys normally have like a set sign you guys are using with rock and steel and stuff. But if you guys weren't wanting to do that, I was wanting to build a new one. This is just a design I came up with, simple. The one there only has one post right now, and I think two posts would be a lot better. Just dig the holes, build a sign, dig the holes, concrete it in, so it's really sturdy. Build it with treated wood. I'll also get donations for that, and
This is a sign that's off of McDonald's. You want to tell them why we're doing the sign?
doing the sign.
Uh-huh. There's a sign off of Sycamore right now, but then if you go to McDonald's and you head up, there's nothing there. And we had an old sign that was put back probably 1970s that West Campus built for us. And anyhow, it just needs to desperately, it's rotten out, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
It
that'll be a
needs-
nice cleanup.
It needs a new sign on the backside parking area at the McDonald's, is that you're saying? Kind
Yes.
of that entrance area there?
It is between McDonald's and Gregory Park.
Okay.
Is that our parking lot?
The one at the top, the gravel is, yes.
Okay.
Do we have somebody that'll make the sign itself, or are you thinking about using a router, or what are you thinking?
Using the router and getting the wood donated and just building it by tree. Making sure it's done right.
Template router. We've seen some of those.
That wouldn't be hard to hand carve with chisels, too.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's not.
How big is that park?
How big is the park?
19?
Yeah, 19 or 20 acres. It was donated to us by the Veterans Affairs, and it was to be used as a nature park. So that's how we got it.
Why have we not done the steel and rock?
We need to. It just hasn't made it to the list yet. It's to be done at some point in the future, but for right now, we thought it would be best to go ahead and get something. That the rock sign is about 5,000, six-ish now.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Just something have it identified until that funds are available.
yeah.
So I talked with Byron a little bit about your project, and I think, did he say something to you?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Rerouting a little bit.
Yeah, just looking, because the fall line trails, not really, I think preferentially, we'd like to see something that's not fall line. And if our memory serves me right, it's probably 1.5 or 2 foot deep in sections, so ideally, we'd go ahead and remove that from the trail system altogether. But I told him I'd be more than happy to come out and help and kind of brainstorm a little more.
Okay.
I mean, I commend you for taking a stab at this, because it's
Needed project.
it's definitely a well-needed project.
It's been redone a couple of times.
Yeah.
Over the years.
The big issue is anything that goes downhill, water's going to get on and travel on, and that's really one of the big issues. If we can, we can remove that fall line section, that's really, would be a bigger benefit to the community.
Is that the part we saw in the pictures?
Yeah, anything that just goes straight downhill that's the way water travels.
I don't know, as far as longevity of the post, a treated post versus something like Eastern Red Cedar, which is native. I've got some names of some sawmills I'll be glad to give you that we've tried to use for other projects, Eastern Red Cedar, because it does last, heartwood, the solid red logs, it really lasts a long time. I don't know how it lasts compares to treated lumber.
Well, we have some out at Lake Fayetteville.
So that's
Yeah.
If we want-
Once in contact with the ground, it doesn't do quite as well.
Really? Okay, I wasn't sure.
If it's out of the ground, it lasts a
So,
long time.
for decking for bridges, it's great
Right.
then. Okay, I wasn't sure how it did in there.
Great project. Thank you for taking it on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
I make a motion to approve the Eagle Scout project.
Second?
Roll, please, Melanie.
McKnight,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Prophet.
Yes.
Thank you, August.
Thank you.
Again,
August.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, next up is Lake Fayetteville Trail mural. Alan, you got a...
Yeah, so this is just an informational item, but we had started out as a citizen suggestion, and we contacted Amy, who you might recognize her work. She did the bulldog on the stone wall, the concrete wall on Rock Street right there. Contacted her, and she said she would be happy to paint a mural on the north side of the bait shop at the marina at Lake Fayetteville, which you've seen is sort of unsightly, so we think it could spruce up the area a bit, having a mural. We got in touch with Amy. She came back with this design concept. Everybody in the office seemed to approve of it, so we're bringing it to you guys. She's able to do it in just a few weekends, over the course of maybe 3 weekends, about a 20-hour project or so. It's under $5,000 again, so it doesn't require Arts Council approval or a motion from you guys. We just wanted to give you guys a heads up and get any feedback. Amy couldn't be here tonight, but that's sort of the direction we're headed.
Looks good.
Yeah.
On the north side of the building?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right along the new trail. Mm-hmm.
So just
How
a
big will
cinder
it
block
be?
building?
It's brick.
Brick?
Yep. And she's just gonna work around the utility boxes on it. So kind of take those out of view and make the whole wall look better.
How big will it be, the whole wall?
What did it say, like 35 feet long? It's like 8 or 10 feet high.
Wow.
Jeez.
Be a big kid.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, there's a puppy dog.
Puppy?
Big dog,
Yep.
too.
And she wanted to be sure to reiterate that this was a sketch she threw together in about 15 minutes, so it'll be a little cleaner, a little more crisp than that.
15 minutes.
Yeah, she just,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. So, yeah, that, but a little crisper.
15 minutes?
Yeah, she's good.
Was that done on the computer, or is that a
It's just freehand.
watercolor?
Watercolor, yeah.
If I could throw something together like that in 15
No doubt.
Well, she's doing it, not you.
Kind of nice to have for the town art. on the-
Uh-huh,
And the trees and stuff are red, is that what they're?
Sunset.
Yeah, it's clouds, I guess.
Or sunrise, I guess,
Global.
It's open to
facing
interpretation.
south.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. That's what makes it.
I'd be wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a lot to it. We're gonna clean the building off for her, and we're gonna supply her with some paint, but minimal cost to us, and she's gonna donate, obviously, the time and the art itself.
Right, so currently the fence is up along there.
The fence is down now
Oh,
with
it
the
is
trail.
down.
Yep.
And the
Trail's
trail,
there.
which side of the trail is, will
Be on the south side of the trail.
it will, okay, so the trail's gonna erupt past it?
Uh-huh,
Mhm.
right beside it.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, it'll look really good. Anything else? I'll tell him you guys.
Thumbs
give us a
up.
thumbs
Good
up.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Right.
Good deal.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay, and next up is planting poetry art donation, Cody Fowler, artist, Cody? Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not really, I think she's put some stuff together, I'm not really sure what. So, here's the location. I was told on the application, obviously, do 3 priorities. I did 2 and kind of left the third one open if you guys had any good suggestions. They're both really close to each other. It's there, right where, I believe, here. Should grab my thing. I'm not sure if y'all are sure where this location's at. If you leave Wilson Park on Prospect, it's where Prospect runs into the trail. Trail loops around and turns from Frisco Trail to Skull Creek Trail, right there, as
Yeah.
it loops under the bridge. So the place I think would probably be more ideal is, the loop is there, but I'll actually be planting a red maple. So although the sculpture will fit and the tree will actually fit as well, it will be pretty crowded at the top of the tree because there's some other trees there. There's also the light post, but it still would work. The priority one there, which is just slightly south on Frisco Trail from that loop, not by much, I mean, you can throw a rock from there to there, but it's much more open. It has no, there's one tree, but it can be distanced from it, and I just feel like it'd be, a good place for that installation. There's also going to be a bench with it that I'm going to build with it, so there'll be a good place for someone that can, if they want to sit down, enjoy the sculpture. The train goes by there, obviously, however many times a day. So I think the first priority would be really ideal from what I've found just walking all of the trails. Trying to find just a place that would facilitate size-wise and get a lot of exposure so that people can, a busy part of the trail, people can enjoy it.
Hey, I'm so sorry. Determination on what place is better?
This item is similar to the one that Alan
Okay.
talked about. It's
We're just-
valued under 5,000, so it
Okay.
doesn't require a particular motion from you guys, but we did want to bring it forward to you, just so you kind of know what's going on and
Sure.
get to hear the...
Yeah, and like I said, and those are just the two. If you guys, after you've kind of seen what it is, and if any of you have any, really good ideas as to where somewhere else you might think would be better.
Can we go back one? We have four dots on the...
Well, there are two maps. One's just zoomed out a bit, so you guys can get a little bit more
okay.
idea where the streets are. So it's the
Sorry.
same map.
I thought-
One's just zoomed out, so you could kind of give
I thought that
one
was
on the
a
left.
future bypass running through the middle.
Yeah, no. The one on the left is just further out, just because I wasn't sure how this was going to be laid out. So if you guys weren't familiar, by looking at, I wanted the closer one so you could get a better view of the actual little grassy area that's to be going, and the one zoomed out just so you can know the streets, so that you can find it.
Cody, the integrity of the structure, the sculpture, how have you seen that hold up when those trees become more mature?
It should be guaranteed for at least 50 years.
Okay.
The tree has room to grow up to 50 years. Of course, growing conditions may vary. That's at the least. I would say, judging how small I'm planning one, it probably has something more 70 years. The tree's lifespan in general is at the very most 120.
Okay.
So you're looking somewhere between 50 to 75 years before the tree grows to the size of the pipe. And then, if it likes to keep growing way more than that, it will eventually kill the tree. But at that point, it can be taken, it can be cut,
Okay.
taken. And I've actually talked to a number of nurseries, and they've said that if I keep a really close eye on it, once it does that 50, 60 years start to reach the steel itself, if I allow the steel to grow into it a certain amount, and then cut the steel free, it'll actually brand the tree and leave the words that are in the sculpture in the tree. And so it'll still kind of be there, for that extra 10, 20, 30 years, but it won't kill the tree. You just have to make sure you keep an eye on it, say every, 6 months to a year, they grow 5 feet a year at first, so kind of have to.
Can you put that somewhere on your...
Your Outlook calendar.
I would imagine it'd be 60 years at least before it would become an issue.
It's a maple, you said?
Yeah, it's an autumn blaze. The tree's already been chosen. White River Nursery's donating it, as well as everything to go with to make sure that it's planted at least healthy.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can go 50 years.
What kind of tree is it?
Autumn blaze red maple.
Can I ask that you do another thing with that?
What's that?
Plant a time capsule.
Yeah?
And have it to be removed at a certain
Once
date so that it
trees
decides.
that are 50 years would be a good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
you
we
wanna
can definitely
sign
make
it?
that part of it.
Well,
I'm also
just
digging.
include it so that it's dug up and it'll be fresh in
Right.
people's mind at least.
Right.
A close time period.
No, that would be, and especially as far as the trails around here, that
Yeah.
they evolve and whatnot as you do more with them. It's getting, the hole, as you can see here, is actually dug is 42 inches. I've been advised to do it about, ideally, a foot wider than the steel, which gives it about 2 feet wider than the root ball, which allows the root ball to grow out into fresh soil a decent amount before it starts to hit, something heavier. So it's well rooted before it starts to try to grow.
Maybe a map of what our trails system is right now. And then-
Yeah,
sure, whatever.
Copy of
That'd
it.
be all of our
I'll definitely
faces
start,
on one of them.
y'all can give ideas for
Get
sure.
an iPhone we can throw in
I'm
there so
in
we
close
can
contact
use
with
it
Alison
and
about
laugh
it,
at
and I'll come up with some ideas and try to come up with something, put it in.
Yeah.
And I can dig it a bit deeper, in that area, in that spot, just to make sure.
I like that.
I think our faces on one of the sculptures would be great.
What are the thoughts on
Sword faces
irrigating?
all on it.
Hey, what?
What are the thoughts on irrigating this?
We're still kind of working that out. You guys do have a water truck, so it's really, it needs to be watered pretty heavily, at least depending on rain, of course, once a week is what I've been told the minimum is really, but if you guys are using a water truck, it should be more than enough water to just do once a week. and the tree will become dormant, you know, based on how cold it gets, how quick it gets. So you're looking at really only 4 to 6 weeks of actually watering it before it comes dormant.
I'm thinking more of next summer.
Oh, it should be, because it should have time to root, and then it will continue to grow as it's dormant slowly. The roots will continue to grow, it just won't grow
I know,
taller.
we've had a lot of trees planted before, and a lot of them were actually people literally would haul their own water. You know, Fran did this for years.
Right.
We want to obviously have something in place to
Right, well,
assign that tree to one of our gardeners, and then we don't have to worry about it. 'cause
yeah,
they'll take care of it.
that's even more ideal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it should have a good chance of, by spring hits and we get spring rains and things, it should just be naturally be able to grow. But yeah, having a
Well,
you
this
know, something in
first
place
3
to make sure
years,
it
I mean,
gets
that's what,
watered.
we've got landscape requirements that that
maintenance
has to be kept
before.
alive for 3 years, because that's a critical point to get
Absolutely.
enough, you know, root
Absolutely.
growth out there, and that's, no, I think it's a neat idea.
Yeah, I'd like to, if we could have something like that in place, I would. It's just I can't obviously facilitate that because I can't be there. I'm not from Fayetteville to start with, but I can't be here. I can be here often, but I can't be here to watch.
Where I was going with it, I'm sure that, you know, obviously Parks will this will be given
Yeah, I think that's the
special
main thing that
attention.
we've
We're
been making
looking
sure
for
is to make sure we have some sort of
volunteers
maintenance
who
plan.
have adopted that section too.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah, this is the actual piece, it's nearly done now. It lacks, drain holes that will need to be, okay, so can't necessarily see in this picture, but there's a line, 1 foot and 5 inches from the bottom. That's all going underground. There'll be, windows cut into that for the root ball to be able to grow out. Then slightly above that, there will be 11 inches that is above ground, and that's the middle solid piece you see under the words, and about 1 inch to 2 inches above what's going underground, there'll be drain holes so that it doesn't hold too much water if it does rain or when it's watering, it lets the water back out. That's really all that's lacking from it, mostly in this picture. So.
I see now, yeah, the cuttings, that's cool.
Yeah, it's an acetylene torch, not a plastic.
Where else, I guess, within driving distance, have you done one of these where we might be able to see a finished product?
Here's a one I did, that I had sitting in Michigan for quite some time, almost a year. It was a 15-foot tree where I actually built the entire tree, so that's the trunk, and then I had a 3/4 inch, 13-inch diameter steel pipe as kind of inside the words, inside it as the trunk, and that was the weight-bearing part, and then I used drill casing for the branches and everything, and it was literally same size pipe, same everything, the words are just cut bigger, and as far as like safety goes and whatnot, and I took it for, initially when it got installed, it was for Art Price that they have there, which is a huge art exhibition, I guess you'd say. It's kind of a contest as well. And when I installed it, I went home. It was late. I went home. I came back. It was the first day of Art Price, first day of the exhibition, and there was like 100 kids on it, just climbing. I mean, I just walked around the corner, and if you go on Flickr and type in Art Price, it's pretty popular. There's just kids hanging off the branches and hanging on it. So as far as, and that was huge. So this will be 4.5 feet above ground, the actual sculpture itself. As far as rigidity goes, it's 3/4 inch steel. So it's really heavy, and it's like, I mean, you'd have to have a 300-pound guy, you know, climb it and just give it everything he had to bend it. And they would only just bend where one of the weaker parts are in a word. But because also it'll be 1.5 foot into the ground, like it won't come out of the ground for sure. And then once the tree starts to grow through it and root, you have quite a time getting it to move for sure. So.
You might consider on the placement of the bench, thinking about, obviously, people are more likely to use those benches, I think, a lot of times later in the day. And, of course, this one's hotter, so the idea to where the bench would be shaded.
Try to get it, yeah, I'm going to get
Hotter part of the
it pretty close. I mean...
You know, if the bench are ideal, like east of the tree.
Oh, right, good point. So just
Because of
for,
the shade.
get it in shade and sunset.
Yeah.
And then the bench will be made out of the same steel and recycled pallets. Will be the design for it. I'm still kind of working the design out in my head, but it'll be very functional, for sure.
Yeah, sounds great.
Neat project.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Glad. And I believe the words have been approved by the city attorney. There's 12, it was 15, it's been pared down to 12 words, 3 per rung, so they should be on there, I believe. Yeah, love, kindness, patience, tolerance, kindness, respect, responsibility, compassion. I don't know if I can remember them all. I shouldn't remember them all as much as
I
I've
think
work
that's
I've
it.
done. They're,
That'll probably be part of a scavenger hunt someday. There'll be,
that'd be cool.
list all those on a clue sheet or something.
Right, that'd be neat. They're 9-inch rows, like I said, 3 words per row. The words are spaced anywhere between 3 and 4 inches apart. Well, top is 4 and the bottom 3 rungs are 3 inches apart, so a lot of math to get it on there. I'm better at structure and math than I am at drawing. Obviously, I can't. What was here earlier, that was pretty impressive. To do that, the drawing, the watercolor.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, this
was
is
neat.
cool. This is really cool.
I'm glad y'all like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to, you know, to get it put in the ground, get the tree put in it. The steel, just offhand, I actually get all the steel from New Mexico. All of the steel, this is like the 30-inch conduit pipe that they use to line the well for oil wells. All of it's been used, so it's all fully recycled, taken off of oil rigs in West Texas and southeast New Mexico. And then I'm taking that steel and obviously running it with a tree, so putting positive message.
Yeah.
So it's very metaphorical and symbolic in that sense.
When are we planning on doing this?
Ideally, it looks like, because I'm having a plaque made as well, and having all of what I'm wanting to put in the plaque has become more of an issue than I thought. It looks like I'm actually having a company out of Overland, Kansas, an engraving company. It looks like they're going to be able to do it. And then I'm also having serial numbers made, because this is a series of sculptures. So this is obviously 001. To get the serial number and the plaque here on time, it looks like it'll take me, I'm going to come here, I would like to come here on the 20th of October, and I need soil samples for the nursery and whatnot to see if we need to mix in anything, see if we need to try to put any compost or anything with it. So I'll do soil samples, check how hard the ground is, mark it off, do everything on Monday, just get everything prepared, see if I'm going to need anything extra, go to store, and then on Tuesday, which is the 21st, I'll plant it that day. I'll bring it back and I'll dig the hole and get it done. It should be done on Tuesday, and then I've been working with Matt Miller at Refresh Fayetteville, and I think he's wanting to do some sort of event, so either the 22nd or 23rd, something like that. I think they may hold something for it, and so it should be done by the end of this month,
We'll let you know.
ideally.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting for the 21st for actually put it in, would be ideal.
What do you think that'll weigh? The reason where I'm going with that is, do we think this is something that we should, I don't want you to have more work, but I want it to be preserved and protected. Is
Right.
this something that we should look at anchoring?
You mean, can somebody take it?
Yeah,
They'd have to be really adamant.
I mean, that's my concern, something unique like this. and
Yeah, I mean, they would have
Get
to.
wild ideas.
They would have to dig it back up to start with, and then they would have to have at least 3 guys in a trailer, and be able to. Once it's cut, I could cut out a lot of weight. I probably cut out about 150
Yeah, I'm
pounds
getting these thoughts going.
altogether, but it still weighs about 300 pounds. And then it is anchored 1.5 feet in the ground on top of that, and then there's the tree. And once the tree, obviously the tree has to root, 20 inches before it really starts to take hold of the tree itself, or the sculpture itself, but, so they'd have to want to take it really soon, within the next 6 months. And then, it would be a process, like they wouldn't just take it. They'd have to They'd have to have a trailer, they'd have to have, and if they would, they'd have to do it quick. So in order to dig it out, you'd have to have at least 3 to 5 guys dig it out and pull it out of the hole. You have to pull the tree out of the
It's a
ground.
college town.
But if they read.
Oh, no, I've thought about that. I'm gonna
They
stay.
read the E-house, they'll go,
I'm staying 2 or 3 days after it's planted, just to keep going back and seeing kind of like, if anybody's climbed on, moved it, if it's wanted to shift at all.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it a cylinder? It's welded.
It's one solid piece.
Yeah.
This is what you're looking here is, because it was so large, I actually did it word by word. I cut each word out and I welded them separately. This piece is one solid pipe. There's no welding or cutting. It's all drawn on as, touching and all as one deal. So yeah, there's no way to take, any piece out of it. You'd have to take the whole pipe.
Are you wanting, like, another 3-foot rebar shoved down and?
Yeah, I'd say the only other way
saying
that I've thought to anchor it, there's really no way to anchor it just because, the best you could do would be to take something like rebar. Once the hole is dug, you could knock the rebar, you could take, a sledgehammer and knock the rebar into the ground, into the side of the hole where it's going into the ground, and then you could weld it to the parts of the pipe there on hand, there on the end. So when they tried to pull it out, they'd have to cut the rebar because it wouldn't come out of the ground. But otherwise, there's nothing else you can do because it'll damage, it'll hurt the tree's chances.
I was thinking if you like put some, they're called dogs or anchors, that's like you can almost, dead men, concrete dead men with a cable that would go up. You would secure them, in the ground around it, like 3 of them with cabling that would go up and it, it'd be all underground.
Oh, okay, that's yeah.
I mean,
It'd be a lot
my grandmother had a 300, 400-pound Buddha statue removed from her backyard up and over a
Really?
5-foot high fence a few years ago. A long
Doesn't
time.
everyone
So I'm saying
underestimate
is,
people, that's for sure.
yeah,
That's
that's,
true.
this is really unique. I mean,
Another way.
didn't we have Popeye disappear for a while a few years ago, or remember some of that crazy stuff?
The Dixon Street sign,
Yeah, we've had,
the iron Dixon
however,
Street.
I mean, this is...
that's true. If they really wanted it, they could get 5 dudes, 5 friends that decide they want to do that one night. Yeah, they could
Well,
take it.
that's what I'm just wondering. I mean, it's cool. We
I
want to
think
keep
the
it.
rebar would be the easiest just because you wouldn't have to dig. Like, you wouldn't have to dig.
So you just
areas
weld the
for
top of
outside.
it, drive rebar in and weld spot weld is the top of the rebar? Something like that?
You'd actually put the rebar, you dig the hole, and then you just take long pieces of rebar basically, and just start the front at the very
Run
end,
them through
just knock it in, and make sure you measure so that once you've got however many pieces of rebar in the ground you're going to do, make sure you measure so it fits 30 inches. And then when you dump the pipe in there, well, first you got to do the tree, then you dump the pipe, and then you just pull the rebar back and weld it. And say if you've got general amounts of rebar coming about 15 feet.
Yeah.
So you've got. They would have to either
Oh.
have a tour. They would have to have
Like
something to be able to
the
knock that
sculpture's
rebar.
got roots itself that way.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
So they would either have to cut the rebar free or dig it out, and it would be complicated. And we can do that. That really wouldn't take. Only thing I'd have to do is have a well. I don't have a.
I mean, I just
mobile
almost see it
dig
as
or
insurance
stick.
on something like that. It's just very unique and...
Yeah. Know that? Yeah. I'd hate to someone take it. That wouldn't be cool.
I like the location, I think.
Oh, yeah, because that's a
It's
barren
a lot of-
location.
It's right by the
It's a
road.
great location.
Yeah.
A lot of visibility.
I thought about, that's why I like the loop, just because you get a lot of visibility from the road as well. I mean, there's a ton of traffic right there, but it just would be slightly crowded, and there
Yeah, I
really wouldn't
see
be
your
room
point.
for the bench, so you don't get the
And the
full
spot you're
urban
looking at
installation
is-
side of the art.
It's stark, there's
where
nothing
it's a
in there.
functional,
Good.
piece for the city. And there's already a bench right there where it wraps around, a
Yeah,
memorial bench,
yeah.
so I figured just putting it a little further away, people who are, choosing to, because they'll park there near Prospect, they'll either head Skull Trail towards Lake Fayetteville, or they'll head, towards Dixon on the Frisco Trail, and so this is, if they choose Frisco Trail, then they'll have a bench right there.
Well, thank you in advance for choosing Fayetteville. I don't know if you have roots here or what brought you to this.
I'm from Mountain Home, but this is just a beautiful city. I like the architecture and I like the people, and
Great, thank you.
It's still, like, I live in north central Arkansas, and it's the Ozarks. This is kind of the best place you can go. That's a big city, has a lot of culture, but it's still like straight up in the Ozarks, which is, I very much appreciate. So that's why I wanted to do it. And you guys are big in art. Like me, I think you guys are really wanting to do even better. I think, there's obviously just more art popping up around the city and whatnot. I'd like to be,
This is our first step out doing Crystal Bridges, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping that this will, maybe other people see it and want to do something for the trail and whatnot. And Allison's doing a wonderful job of trying to get people to come in and do more for that, so.
Cody, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
You're very welcome.
And there's no vote or anything necessary on this, so we're just gonna go with it. Sounds great.
Cool.
Thumbs up.
Good deal. Thanks for your time, Cody.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
That's it.
All right.
All right,
So much.
thank you, Cody. Next up is a parkland dedication. Allison?
Okay, this is Lyerly Lane. It's been through at least once before, maybe twice. It was platted in phases, and what you're seeing tonight is the second phase, and they're proposing 5 single-family homes. It's north of Mount Comfort and south of Lyerly Lane, west of Rupel, which is in the northwest quadrant. And the next slide. This was a development that when it first came through, it was in the county, and then it came back and actually got a city council resolution just on the city sewer. And so the second phase of the plat is part of the area that was originally slated for their wastewater treatment. And
Is this one that we visited last spring out? Okay.
no, but
That's
it's
on
not- that
to
was
the
Hewar.
west, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, here we go, here's the aerial. So, the first phase of it is already built. So as I mentioned, it's 5 additional single-family units, and the developer, the letter says that they were requesting to dedicate land, but since then, it sounds like they've changed their request, and they're now requesting to dedicate the money in lieu, and that's what staff is recommending as well.
I was curious because there's 2 different things on there, so I didn't.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So now they are requesting to do money in lieu?
Yes.
Yes.
And
And-
that's the same as what staff is recommending?
Yes.
And it's 5 single.
And 5 single family, yep.
And how does that work out with the resolution from city council that they?
The city council resolution just talks about the, that area being used for park land for the residents. It doesn't dictate that it's a public park, and it does also mention the park fee.
Okay.
So it addresses both of those.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
Get a roll now, please.
Watson,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Profit.
Yes.
One of those was the third, by the way.
Do I?
Didn't you both say it together at the same time?
Yeah, there's
Second and third.
I think 3 of us seconded
Allison, next up.
This next one is Summit Place, and it has also been through a couple of times and been replatted. So they originally came through with 50 single-family units. This is on, sorry, it's on the northeast side of town, south of Township and east of College Avenue. Originally came through with 50 single-family units, and they changed it a couple of times. They went ahead and paid for the single-family units when they originally came through. So the calculations that you're seeing are basically charging them the difference of the 28 that they're now proposing from what they've already paid. And to complicate it a little bit more, the fees were different when they originally paid. So it looks, the amounts look a little goofy, but we're taking what they originally paid at the old price, which was $555 per single-family unit, and charging them the difference for the 28 at the new rate.
On all of it?
For
On even the ones they already paid?
No, no.
Or just on the new ones?
Just on the new ones, yeah.
Now, what are they doing to the plat? They're adding more lots?
Well, so this entire whoops, whoa, hey. Oh, I just died. No, it didn't.
It actually doesn't show up.
Oh, it doesn't show up on TV.
I'll do it one for you.
Darn attorney.
So the entire
Get you every time.
was large lots to begin with.
Like the top?
Mm-hmm, yep, and they came back and replatted the west side into smaller lots, and then they decided to stick with the original large lots on the east side.
Oh.
So they're just platting those large lots again, basically.
Okay.
Who's the developer on this?
Carmen Kimberly Fuller? That's the owner. The engineer is steadfast.
The builder that's building.
I'm sorry, I'm the wrong
Smart
one.
Lakes.
I was watching it.
I thought he bought
They're
that
really
whole,
nice.
he bought that whole
I
development.
think he has a contract on all of them.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have to put them in his name right now.
Oh, wait, so
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
some of
I
the places
understand.
what,
Like the ones that are
looks
open.
out over
I
that
understand.
like gallery and.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yes, up to the hillside.
So they're right behind.
Riverwood. PMS development, I don't know what the initial thing.
Yeah.
So all the little lots and then the big lots?
The little lots are already done.
Okay.
So it's the big lots that they're now coming back and platting.
Okay.
Here's the aerial.
Like home place.
Got the big wall around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Hey.
remind me again, what was the developer's request?
Money in lieu,
And what's the staff's
money in lieu.
recommendation? Okay.
Mhm.
So just out of curiosity, I mean, I guess they're just, these are single-family homes,
Mhm.
these bigger lots?
Mhm.
Just trying to envision what that's gonna look like with the houses that are already up there. It's bigger houses, I guess.
Well, which ones are they building currently? The smaller lots?
They're on the small lots.
Yep.
Those are kinda like 2 or 3 stories on the
Yeah.
hillside
Yeah.
type of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, there's significant elevation change right there.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we go with staff's recommendation.
Second?
Take a roll, please. On their dime, I guess.
Profit,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
and Watson.
Yes. And, the last parkland dedication?
I think there are
Just a
two.
little on the
next-
township.
Yeah. It's been approved by the fire department. I mean, they have to have certain radius sanitation department.
Okay.
Okay. And the last parkland dedication?
Okay, the last
Whistler
one
Woods?
is Whistler Woods. This one is the one that's owned by Carl and Kimberly Fuller and Steadfast King as the engineer. This is also in the northeast quadrant over near Gully Park, off of Winwood Drive in Township, or I'm sorry, South Township. They're proposing 19 single-family homes on just under 7 acres. And they are requesting to pay money in lieu, and staff is also recommending money in lieu due to the parks that are in the area. Gully Park, Craft, and Ridgeway View are all within a 1-mile radius. The money in lieu requirement is $17,480. You can shoot an aerial for that one. And just as a reminder, we recently expanded Craft Park with the cottages at Old Wire. We got parkland on the north side of the creek there, so that park was just enlarged last year.
That's $42,000 can go toward Gully Park.
17,000.
I'm
Plus
talking
the
about the other
25.
one.
Oh, plus 20.
Yeah.
Well.
A motion that we take that money in lieu of.
Second. Second.
Roll, please.
For Gully Park.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Profit,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Okay, and then the Wilson Park Bridge donation?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and squeeze that in right here.
Yep, this is a night of art. We have some citizens around Wilson Park that have been working on a project to replace the railing on the bridge that is just south of the castle. There's just a small bridge there with a wooden railing that's kind of gotten into disrepair, and so they've been interested in redoing that railing as sort of an art project. And Stuart Fulbright has created this concept sketch, and he's tried to play off of the creek and water and the pool and the fish scales that were just kind of incorporated into the pool redesign on the roof. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but so he played off that for this concept. He would build the railing out of steel, and he has been soliciting donations for this, so it would all be donated as well. So there'd be a, recognition prize that goes with it as well.
Are those shakes on the side of it?
It's steel.
Steel.
But yeah, in this, representing fish scales.
Oh.
Yeah. So he would do the fabrication and the installation, and we've been working with our city engineers to look at the existing approaches to that, because there are a couple of cracks in there, and we're gonna kind of shore up the slabs that are there now with some either pour concrete under there, or compacted base, to make sure that those are secure. And this is another item that doesn't, it's valued under 5,000, so it's just sort of an FYI item.
What is the bridge itself made out of? Is it steel bridge or concrete or
It's concrete.
concrete? Okay.
Mhm. Just over a box, basically I can't point to it, but those two columns that look like stones,
Yeah.
those are the size
It's
walls
a
of the box.
box culvert. So it's just taking down the old
The old
railing
railing.
and putting up this.
Mhm.
Sounds fun. That's about it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I guess we got a few announcements coming up. October 13th, fall volleyball season begins. October 13th to the 18th, fall kickball tournament begins. October 18th is Hero Half Marathon and Celebration of Trees. October 20th through the 24th is fall adult softball tournament. November 1st, looks like there's a few things going on there. Kessler Trail Run, the Make a Difference Day volunteer event at Sweetbriar Park, and Make a Difference Day volunteer event at Clabber Creek Trail.
So this is sort of the art-themed meeting, I feel like we should add that October 18th is also Art in the Park
Oh, yeah.
and Puffington Park at Wilson. So from 9 till 6, we'll have Art in the Park and Puffington Park.
So October 18th from when, you say?
9 till 6, roughly.
Until 6. And where is that located?
At Wilson Park, on the northeast corner is where Art in the Park sets up their sort of Grand Central Station, and then the opposite side will be Puppets.
So
We'll have artists that are actually painting there.
There'll be
And
some
then you
painting,
can-
instructional painting, there'll be
Kids.
pieces for sale, there's sort of all sorts of things.
And-
We're gonna have staff out there grilling hot dogs, giving away for free to whoever's coming up.
Okay.
to-
So just in case that you weren't picked up on the mic, October 18th, 9 in the morning till 6 in the evening, Art in the Park at Wilson Park, northeast corner.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Art,
And
hot dogs,
Park comes back to Park
fun
at
stuff.
5.
I think 10%,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, 10%.
A certain percentage of the sale of their art projects comes back to the Parks and Recreation Department, and that is to be spent on Art in the Park.
Hey, what are we doing on at Sweetbriar Park?
We are doing a streamside native planting on the area where they redid the streamside. We're removing some invasives at Gully Park, actually this week, and then the Sweetbriar planting native plants.
The other thing we might tell you, our crews are busy. Lights of the Ozarks started today. And for the next 30 days, you're going to see our guys up there working 10-hour days trying to get those up before the bad weather comes in. So if you need to find park maintenance, they're at the square.
Speaking of lights,
Favorite
have
time of year.
other business I have to ask a question about. I've had several inquiries from the public about lights at Walker Park, and specifically near or on the skate park. So where do we stand? Do we have any improvements planned for Walker Park?
You know, we've talked about that for quite some time. The reason why we have not put lights on it is because NRPA, the National Recreation Park Association, and ASLA, they do not have standards for lighting skate parks. And, you know, with the kids doing the big jumps in the air and, you know, somersaults in the air and all that, we want to make certain they don't see a shadow and think they're coming down on ground and not be there. So we believe it's to our best interest to wait till those are actually developed, so. that's
So it might be
what
a
we-
hazard if it was lit up,
Partially lit up,
Yeah.
right.
partially
Or
lit up.
poorly.
Shadows, poorly.
Poorly
Yeah.
lit.
Yeah. So, and a lot of park departments have went on and put up lights on them, but we just felt as though, plus, we just had so many projects. You know, we put I think that cost around $360,000 to build that skate park, so, you know, someday we do want to extend the use. And I know skateboarding's coming back up. I went by there Sunday, it was unreal, the number of kids utilizing that, so.
Do any of the other skate parks have lights? Bentonville or
That's
Wall?
our only skate park.
Yeah, Bentonville does, but, I mean, like I said, there's no standards. I don't know if we wanted to do that to our city.
I've got a question on, if you could give us an update on the Gully Park with the survey and the closing date. Drew, I'm going with that, when we were all settled with that, I wanted to plan a fence removal party, where we go out and actually remove the fencing, get volunteers to do that, and then try to line up a bulldozer at the same time to come and level back the pond that's dry, has been dry since 1980. And it'll be in a sight line all the way through to Magnolia. It should be pretty neat. But
We just got the survey last Friday, and our land agents need to review it. They'll be looking at it tomorrow, and I'm trying to bring this closing hopefully on Friday.
okay, great.
Have you? Let's
Super.
rent one then.
This Friday?
Don't you think?
You can do a lot of damage.
Wait, I'm
All right.
sorry, I was cutting up. What's going on this Friday?
Potentially a closing on Gully Park.
Okay.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal,
That's a big deal.
yeah.
All right, I had another question. Has there ever been any inquiry or has there been much interest in a indoor soccer facility? And when I mean indoor soccer, I don't mean like inside a building. Many indoor soccer games are actually played outdoors, but you have to have the walls built and things like that. Has the city ever explored that?
At one time, you know, we thought we would take it a big league, just getting lights on our soccer fields. So, I mean, it's kind of one step at a time. You know, we're hoping to finally get lights. I mean, when lights came up back in the 80s, the light soccer fields, people thought we were crazy. You know, but we had people that had been around, but the indoor has came up here and there, not for quite some time. But,
Okay, I was just curious.
The problem is where would you put it?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question.
Oh, you have an
The
idea?
old BMX park, right next to the skate park, would be
Then the lights should be multi-purpose.
pretty ideal location. I think you could put two fields side by side. I'm not proposing that we, push for this. I'm just curious if it's ever come up before.
It has, but it's been quite some time. You know, since we started talking about regional park, we've got everybody kind of getting towards that and lights, so I haven't heard it for quite some time.
Okay.
But every once in a while it'll come up. I mean, it's amazing what everybody would like.
Hey, do we have a I'm so sorry. I'm piggybacking off this actually. Do we have a 10-year plan for Walker? Or some type of master plan?
We do have a master plan that's been approved. However, it's kind of...
Does it include the baseball fields?
Huh?
It includes the baseball fields?
Yes. In fact, it included the baseball fields to be on the north side of 13th Street and Block Street. That was all going to be, but after we had to fight to get up the parking lot in.
Does it include a water park?
No.
Splash pad.
Oh.
Splash pad.
Splash pad. Come on.
Velodrome.
That is in the CIP.
Are we gonna,
That was approved.
is that gonna be reviewed once we add the regional park and the new baseball fields?
We need to review exactly what we're going to keep. You know, how many baseball fields we're going to keep. Some of the baseball fields really need to probably go. They don't have the safety standards in between the fields. So, and they're older, but, you know, they have tournaments and stuff. But for us to upkeep them, it's kind of but, you know, our thought is, you know, there is some need to return some of that land to just green space. Maybe we could get in a dog park, and, you know, we've talked about putting a water park there in a few years, but At that point in time, when we decide what we're going to do with the baseball field, we'll probably redo the master plan of Walker Park. That would be a perfect timing to do that.
But that's several years down the road after we talk about phase 2 of the regional park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what? How many, I thought we were building all the baseball fields in phase 1.
No.
Nope.
I thought we were just
Are
shy
we
by
getting-
1.
3.
No,
2.
they're building
We're
3,
two pinwheels of
maybe
baseball.
4.
Oh.
But the regional park had 8
Uh-huh.
baseball fields in it.
Okay.
So there's an additional pinwheel of baseball fields.
We're only getting halfway there.
That we're trying to get done, yeah.
Okay.
So, y'all have know of any contacts, please let us know. And we do have a start of a fundraising committee that's in the process of trying to get started and help us raise some money.
I move we adjourn.
So be it.
Thank you all.